Hello, I've made it. I wasn't sure that I was going to. We're in Launceston tonight, so I have internet access, which is something that we don't always have when we're travelling. I think I've told you all that before. Anywho, we're here. I'm here. I hope you're all out there. I can see there are some people out there, so please wave and say hello if you are. And I'm on my own tonight, so if I'm looking away, it's because I'm trying to keep track of the chat too. And yes, I remembered my hands are waving. I'll try and sit on them. You don't like waving hands. I thought I'd talk tonight about how to have a successful spending freeze, because honestly, for us, a spending freeze was just a lifestyle. We were for a long time on a permanent spending freeze. We didn't have the cash to spend on anything other than the absolute necessities. But 2019 marks the 18th year for Cheapskates Club having a spending freeze in February. Now, there's a couple of reasons I chose February for our spending freeze. Um, One is because it's the shortest month of the year, just 28 days. And I know it's only 2 or 3 days with the other months, but for some people, that 2 or 3 days was just earth-shattering. If they couldn't spend for 30 or 31 days, it was beyond their capability. So we chose February. It's a short month. It's easy to track with 4 short weeks. Simple. I also chose February because, look, it comes right on the heels of December and January, which are the 2 most expensive months of the year for most people, with Christmas, New Year, holidays, summer holidays, kids off school, keeping them entertained, book lists, school uniforms, school shoes, new like whatever, school fees, all those things are in January. So it's pretty hard to have a spending freeze when you just have to buy something in those months. So we do it in February. And as I said, we've been doing it since 2011. So it's a long time. And I'm pretty sure that the money that hasn't been spent in that time period adds up to quite a lot if we actually counted it. We did one year count it, and that was back in the early days. And I had everyone send me how much they hadn't spent in February, and it was close to $2 million. And that was a long time ago when our little group was much, much smaller. So now we're a huge community. Think of what we could not spend if everyone just bought the essentials. So who's on? Rosalie. Hi, Rosalie. Hi, Margaret. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Michelle. Holiday down here is going very well, although we're on the tail end now. We're heading making our way back towards Devonport because we got home on Friday. But Wayne and I were talking in the car this afternoon, and we will be coming back because there is so much that we didn't have time for, but a lot of places we planned to visit, we just couldn't get to because of the fires. So we still have had a wonderful time, absolutely enjoyed it to bits. We came through from St Helens this morning. We stayed out at a little place called Dora Point last night, and it was beautiful. We were in off the beach, but we could still hear the waves. We could go for a walk if we wanted to. We had wildlife come visit us while we were having dinner. It was just beautiful. We started off on the west coast, and we went down, had 3 days in Queenstown, which was glorious. It was a day extra because it was just wet, so we decided to stay. And I can heartily recommend, if anyone visits the west coast and goes down to Queenstown, Vinnie's Op Shop, brilliant. IGA supermarkets, absolutely lovely, really nice people. Prices are pretty much what I was paying at home in Melbourne, so I was quite shocked because I was expecting them to be a little bit more expensive, but they're not. And the Queenstown Caravan Park is lovely. I'll talk about the nicest, friendliest, coziest caravan park you can imagine. It was just really, really homely and gorgeous. We were happy to stay there, and powered site, $25 a night, with free barbecues, a beautiful camp kitchen, glorious shower facilities with the lady, Jack. Even has a pile of bath mats, because I usually take my own bath mat because I can't stand getting out of the shower onto cold, slimy tiles. So she has a pile of bath mats. You take a bath mat, put it down, then when you finish, just drop it in the laundry basket. It's just beautiful, and plenty of hot water. So that was really nice too. We stayed at Sandy Cape. We went to a place called Camp Elsewhere, which was lovely. Then we stayed at Derwent Bridge. We've been all over the place, up and down and around, about detouring around where we wanted to go because we couldn't get to Fires. Because of the fires, we couldn't get there. So, but it didn't matter. It was just lovely. So someone else has come on. Margaret, hoping to learn something very useful. I have only $50 to last me for 2 weeks. That's all right, Margaret. What have you got in your fridge? What have you got in your pantry? What have you got in your freezer? Start there. Then make a meal plan. How many people are you feeding? 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And then I would make a list of things that you can prepare with the ingredients that you've got in your cupboard already, or in your pantry, in your fridge, your freezer, whatever, and take it from there. But remember that if you've only got $50 for 2 weeks, meatless meals, so quiche, eggs on toast, baked beans on toast, soup, veggie soup, even veggie stews are good. There's a whole heap of recipes in the recipe file for just that sort of occasion when you just have no money for a few weeks. Look up the Bare Bones recipe book. It's on the tip sheets page under ebooks, and see what you can find in there. Have a whole heap of things. Pancakes. Look, pancakes can be breakfast, lunch and dinner. It's just what you serve them with. And I have to be honest, we have, even on this trip, we had pancakes for lunch one day. I think that was in Queenstown actually, because it was wet, it was cold. We didn't have fresh bread. We couldn't get into a store to get it, so we just made pancakes and had pancakes for lunch. They're quick and easy and cheap. Don't discount eggs. Eggs are a huge budget-friendly meal. I was going to say a huge money saver. People look at the price of a dozen eggs and nearly have a fit. But there's 2 eggs to a serving, so you get 6 serves out of that. Even if you're buying free range, $4.50 a dozen carton of eggs, you will serve 6 people. You can make omelettes, you can make quiches, you can make scrambled eggs, you can do poached eggs, fried eggs, boiled eggs. You can do them in frittatas with some rice and veggies. There's so many things, and they're a great source of protein too. So don't ignore eggs. And there's the Everybody's Got to Eat Eggs ebook there too, with lots of recipes in there. Other people are coming in. Karen, vegetables aren't cheap at the moment in Melbourne, Kath. That's fine. Buy the vegetables that are in season. Now, I've only been away a couple of weeks, not even 2 weeks yet, so don't buy the expensive vegetables. Buy the vegetables that are in season. And if fresh vegetables are too expensive for you, then by all means buy frozen or tinned. There's no difference in the nutritional value, so if they're cheaper, buy them. And a bag of mixed veggies with an egg or a couple of eggs and some herbs through them will make a really nice frittata. So veggie frittata, veggie omelette. Pies are also cheap, and you don't need pastry. You can use bread as your base for pies. You can use crushed crackers. You can use all sorts of things, so you don't have to be stuck with pastry. But there is a wonderful recipe in the recipe file under mixes called Elaine's Easy Pastry. That was a recipe that Wayne's auntie Elaine taught me before we were married. She taught me to make this pastry, and it is amazing. It's really easy, but it rolls out really, really thinly. So I like, for quiche bases, I like the pastry to be thin. I don't like the thick, soggy pastry. I like thin pastry. This Elaine's Easy Pastry is really good, so try that too. Margaret has 2 dogs. Okay, that's a bit. I don't have dogs. Hi, Barb. Oh, Barb, you've made it. Oh, hi, I'm so excited. And Coralie, we are having a wonderful time. Thank you, Coralie. Yes, everyone, we're having a ball, absolute ball. Which isn't talking about no spending month, but I could talk about all sorts of things, as you know. Margaret, with your dogs, can you, if you've got dog food already on hand, that's fine. Do they eat homemade dog food? Because there's quite a few recipes for that on the website too. And if you go back through go to the website, in the search, put in dog food or pet food, it'll bring up a whole lot of things. Now, a lot of them will be in the Members Centre, but there'll be quite a few that are in newsletters, that have been posted in newsletters, so you'll be able to find them that way if you're not a member. So, yeah. Otherwise, what else can you do? Can someone help Margaret with dogs? Because we don't have dogs. We haven't had dogs. We've had cats, we've had fish, we've had tadpoles that turned into frogs, we've had mice, but we've never had dogs to feed. So I'm not too sure about that one. You're welcome, Margaret. Okay, but anyway, back to no spending month. Here I am encouraging you all to spend. No spending month is the perfect time to sit back and just spend on the essentials. So gas, electricity, water, telephone, petrol. If you've got bills that come in, they have to be paid. Medications, of course, I would never ever tell anyone to not buy their medication. You've been prescribed medication, you buy it. I would suggest you talk to your chemist and see if there's a generic brand that might be cheaper and still do the same job for you. Often the chemist brands will. I know there's a couple of medications I can't take in chemist brand, but trial and error. And if it saves you money, then it saves you money, because medication is a big expense. But it means there will be no magazines, no coffees, no fish and chips, no going to the movies, no tuck shop for the kids. Won't hurt them for 4 weeks. They can just take their lunch from home. No buying lunch at work, no going out for drinks after work, no eating out, no new shoes, no new clothes, no haircuts. If you want to colour your hair, you can do it yourself at home. Trust me, it's easy. Learn to cut. Huge money saver, folks. Cut your kids' hair yourself. Cut your husband's hair yourself. If you can manage it, cut your own hair yourself. I know there are quite a few women on our Cheapskates group that actually do cut their own hair. And there's heaps of videos on YouTube that will help you find out how to do that. So it's not so difficult. I cut the boys' hair and Wayne's hair and Hannah's hair for years and years and years. Now it's reversed because Hannah's now a qualified hairdresser. Thank goodness we have one in the family. And she does my hair and she does the boys' hair. She's really good. She does mum's hair for her. She even does her granddad's hair when he comes to town. So we don't pay for hairdressing. Huge expense. Wipe it out for February. If you're due for a haircut, just stretch it for a couple of more weeks. It won't hurt. You know, it's not going to matter too much. Confession not necessary, Barb, but bless you. That's gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't worry about it. We all have, you know, tomorrow's a new day. You fall off the wagon today, start again tomorrow. Just day by day, just remember, this is the month that you're not going to spend money. What I would suggest you do is write down what you're not spending, so that you're not spending the $5 on the fancy loaf of bread. You're not spending, do you know how much pies were the other day? $12.80. Walked into a bakery, I said to Wayne, I think we'll have pies for lunch today. It was a bit cold, it was a bit drizzly. I think we'll have pies for lunch today. Walked into the bakery, $12.80 for one single meat pie. No, thank you very much. And we went out and I just made wraps, which were nice anyway. We ate them on the beach and shivered and whatever. But yeah, so those sorts of things we're going to avoid for no spending month. So what else we got? Karen, great advice, Karen. With no spending month, I suggest that you do a pantry and freezer fridge inventory so that you know what groceries you have on hand, because it would be really good if you could save some money on your grocery bill too for this month. You could cut 10% off it or 20%, even halve it. Would that not just be amazing if you could halve your grocery bill? I've been looking in the Saving Revolution Facebook page since I've been in Launceston, and I noticed that I think it was Catherine managed to drop her grocery bill by about 30%, which was just amazing. So just by doing a pantry, fridge and freezer inventory. So that's really good. And then you can make a meal plan. Now, you're no spending. I know people go, oh, I deserve it. I feel deprived. But you're not depriving yourself of anything. You're giving yourself the power to say no. You're giving yourself the power to say no to the marketing, no to the media, no to temptation, no to peer pressure, because you have another goal. And that's my next point. Have a goal for the end of the month. When you reach the end of the month and you haven't spent money on anything that wasn't necessary, what are you going to do to celebrate? Look, and it doesn't have to cost money. It could be something as simple as movie night at home or barbecue in the park. It could be find some discount movie tickets online and go to a movie. Use your RACV or NRMA or whatever membership and get a discount somewhere. There's heaps of them, and your Auto Club discounts are great. We've been using ours as we've travelled around. We've had a couple of nights in caravan parks where the prices have been a bit, even for me, and I thought, oh, do you have discount for RACV? And oh, yes, we do. And they don't advertise it. So it doesn't hurt to ask. They have a discount for RACV and saved a few dollars that way, which is always nice too. Anyway, Port Arthur Caravan Park, we saved some money with our RACV membership. But they also have other bonuses and things tied to them too, which might get you through no spending month. If you have Flybuys points to cash in, oh Margaret, if you have Flybuys points to cash in, perhaps you can do that, and that will boost your budget for a couple of weeks. Give it even just a $10 boost might help. Look at that. Or what are the Woolworths ones? Woolworths Rewards. See if you can do that. Or, push comes to shove, find some things to sell. I know there's one of our ladies quite often will go through her children's toys. Probably 2 or 3 times a year, I think she told me. She goes through the toys, sorts out the ones that they want to keep, and anything else she makes sure is in tip-top shape, gives it a clean, whatever, and she sells it on Facebook by Swap Swell group. It might only bring in $20 or $30, but it's better in her pocket than toys sitting in the cupboard gathering dust doing nothing. So that might be something you can do. Not that I'm saying you've got toys, but there might be something you can sell. Do you have pot plants? Can you pot up some plants and sell them? Anything like that might help just for a little while to get you some cash quickly. Let's see. Maureen, Pet Beans is cheap with frozen. Yes, it is. Frozen mixed veggies, rice and pasta. It's really easy to do. Oh, Linda, ouch. Was that an unexpected expense or unexpected expense? That looks like something that would come up quite unexpectedly. That's what your emergency fund's for. Linda had dental root canal and crown today, and it costs $3,200. Ouch. If you, well, look, even if you have private health insurance, you'd still be out of pocket with that expense. How do you cope? That is what your emergency fund's for. You know, if it's something that I call them expected, unexpected expenses. So things that you know are coming up, but they're not part of your regular budget, like dental work, braces for one of the kids or something like that, then you can add those to your peace of mind account and start saving for them. But if it's an absolute emergency, then that's what your emergency fund's for. And I noticed there was a conversation going on Facebook about what should come first, savings or emergency fund. Always emergency fund, always emergency fund. Because if you don't have any cash to fall back on, and an emergency like this dental work perhaps was for Linda comes up and it's $3,200, you don't have it, you are going to be stuck putting it back on credit, and then you're back onto that cycle of never being debt free. Always build your emergency fund first. What else is there? Let's see, coming up, Margaret. Can't see. Sorry, ladies. Yeah, Michelle's quoting saying that, you know, some butchers will sell pet mince for about $1.50 a kilo. It's very cheap. You mix it with rice and frozen veggies. It goes pretty well, and some gravy, I think, and then you can freeze it and do it that way. I know there's a company in Melbourne who actually home delivers frozen blocks of homemade dog food, and all it is mince, no name rice, and no name frozen veggies with no name gravy through it, and they sell their portions for about $4 each because they're homemade, good for puppy. Well, you can do that yourself. So there you go. Now, any else? Ask away while I'm here, because I can answer them while I'm here. I may not have internet for too much longer, so there you go. Okay, so back to our spending freeze. What was I going to say? Sorry, I've lost my train of thought, which happens all the time. Spending freeze, yes. Give yourself a bonus at the end of the month for sticking to the challenge and for not spending, for not wasting money. Make a list of what you're not spending so you know how much you haven't spent. And then perhaps transfer that money from your savings account into your emergency fund, or pay it off your mortgage or off your credit card, or whatever you need to do like that. So yeah, an emergency dental fund. Oof, it's not nice, is it? Dental work, ouch. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that we can't avoid. We have to have it done, so we have to do it. Okay, where are we? Okay. All right, now. I won't be doing a live session on Thursday because I don't know where I'll be. I'll be somewhere, hopefully I'll be in Devonport, but I'm not exactly sure what time we'll be getting in or anything like that. So I won't book one for this coming Thursday. It's a bit of a shame because I'm quite enjoying doing them. But there will be, next week we'll be back to normal because I'll be home. So that will help too. Dallas, hi, how are you? Thanks for the reminder last newsletter. Okay, you're welcome. We are the ones in charge of our budget for grocery shopping. Look, It's the only thing in our budget that we have complete and utter total control over. We choose how much we're going to spend. Yes, we can say, oh, the prices are going up and this costs so much and veggies are expensive, meat's expensive, whatever, but we choose to buy it. There are alternatives. We can do other things to not spend that money if we don't have to. So, and it could be something as simple as changing brands, changing the store you shop at, changing the time you shop, writing a shopping list and sticking to it. Writing a shopping list, taking it with you and sticking to it, because how many of us write the shopping list and then leave it at home? So all sorts of things like that. Oh no. Oh, Maureen, oh, I'd cry. Science book and extra sport shorts, which were not in the budget. If you've got the money in the emergency fund for it and you don't have the money in the school fee or school fund, by all means take it from the emergency fund. You can repay it later. I absolutely loved Devonport, Coralie. It was so pretty. I really enjoyed it. Margaret wants to know where I shop. I shop all over the place. I do the bulk of my groceries between Aldi and Coles. Only, and Woolworths misses out, but that's only because I actually have to go out of my way to go to a Woolworths. I don't have a Woolworths locally, so, which is odd because I've got 4 Coles stores within about 5 minutes of home, and 3 Aldi stores within about 5 minutes of home too. So that's where I do the bulk of my grocery items. Fresh fruit and veg that I buy direct from greengrocers. Meat I shop around for, and I look for the best price. So that could be, we have the Australian butcher store in Baronia, which is about 10 minutes from home for me. So they're the best prices around at the moment. Although if I find a really good special on meat somewhere else, I will buy it there. I am not store loyal. I shop for the cheapest price for the things I need. On that note, folks, we had a discussion. I was shopping, but we found that we were looking for butter because butter is so expensive at the moment. Well, it's just going up and up and up. The hours back, and in Coles they had identical wrappers. 500 grams was $5.40. 500 was $5.80. Identical wrappers. The only difference was that the expensive butter, the $5.80 butter, said Australian butter. So Hannah picked up the cheaper one and turned it over, and it's actually a product of New Zealand. Now, how it can possibly be cheaper to bring something into the country that we can make quite easily here and sell it cheaper, it defies logic. And nothing against New Zealand and nothing against New Zealand butter. If I was in New Zealand, I'd be very happy to have New Zealand butter. But that butter is imported into Australia in huge, big, I think they were 50 kilo slabs, 100 kilo slabs, great big slabs anyway. Goes through a factory in Warrnambool, is cut up and wrapped in the Coles wrapper. So it's just wrapped here. It's not Australian butter. So when I say I shop at Aldi or Coles or wherever, I do check to see where the products are made and where they come from. We don't import flour, we don't import sugar into Australia. So whether you buy a brand name or Coles or Woolworths home brand or Aldi, it's all Australian, so that's fine. The prices vary up to about, on the generics, they vary about 3 cents a kilo on the flours, although flour will be going up. There is a serious shortage of wheat thanks to the drought. So flour will be going up. If you use a lot of it, you might pay to start stocking up. Pop it in the freezer when you bring it home, leave it there till you're ready to use it, or for at least 7 days, and that just gets rid of any weevils that might be in it. just a little thing. No, Aldi in Tassie, no, there's not. But the wonderful IGAs, absolutely wonderful. Sorry, I'm slipping down on this chair I'm sitting on, folks. Wonderful IGAs here, Coralie. Butter's easy to make, Margaret, but bear in mind that you'll use 600 mils of butter, of cream makes about 300 grams of butter. So you do lose a bit of volume. You do have the real buttermilk though left over to use in your cooking for something else, but homemade butter is lovely. It's really simple to do, and often if I luck out and find discount cream, markdown cream, and it might be just the 300 mils and they might be 25 cents or whatever, I would buy the lot, pop them in the freezer, and if I don't use them for cooking or cakes or whatever, then I do make butter with them. It's fun. I'm looking for, I actually really want a set of butter pats so that I can squeeze the water out with the old-fashioned way with the butter pats. If I find them in an op shop one day, I'm going to have them. That'll be my treat. So yeah, all right, butter. Yeah, we found IGAs are wonderful. I was a bit confused at first because we'd come into a little town and there'd be 2 IGAs. 2 IGAs, a bit strange. Different franchises, but 2 IGAs. Oh well. Anyway, I asked my friend Carol yesterday, why are there 2 IGAs in some towns? And she actually said it's a way of keeping locals in the town. If there's a hint that a Coles or a Woolworths will come, especially in the smaller towns, the locals band together, IGA will swoop in and open another store to stop that happening, because they want to keep the local shopping centres going, because when the bigger stores, obviously when they come in, there goes the butcher, there goes the bakery, the newsagents, the greengrocer, all just die eventually because the bigger supermarkets have come in. So I think that's rather, I like that idea. I think it's rather nifty. Right. Barb, I'm really struggling with my food budget. I have food allergies to most proteins except chicken and beef. Well, no, if you've got allergies, you've got allergies. You can't do anything about it. So chicken and beef, okay. They get a bit boring, don't they? But with beef, though, I'm guessing you can have mince, or you could have a steak every now and then, or a piece of roast beef. I guess you need not so much extra proteins in your budget, you just need new ways to prepare it for you. And I know being on your own, having to cook a whole roast is daunting because there's so much of it. So perhaps either look for the half roasts and then get the butcher to cut those in half again for you, or do the half roasts and slice them up. Now, I still do this at home too. We have roast beef or lamb. I take off what we need for the meal and then I straight away slice up the rest of it. Otherwise, the fridge fairies just eat it. And put it in gravy, put it in a container and freeze it. And then the next time I'm having that particular roast beef or roast lamb, I just take it out of the freezer and have it. That works well for me. Barb, I'll think of some recipes for you that will help give you a bit of variety, perhaps, and some single serve recipes would probably help. I think. Would that be good? Oh, Maureen, how lucky are you? Butter pats and a butter churn. Oh, did you have to churn the butter when you were younger? Oh, that'd be wonderful. How lucky are you? Hi, Priya. What to do for Valentine's Day, the Cheapskates Way? We actually, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day as a big hoo-ha, there go my hands again, big hoo-ha thing. We never have, even before we were married, we never did. But it was always just I get flowers because Wayne always brings me flowers, and then it will be some sort of special dinner, and I usually splurge a whole $3 and buy Wayne a packet of pink Choc Royals. You know the Arnott's Choc Royals, the biscuit with the jam and the marshmallow and the chocolate? He only likes the pink ones. So I get the pink ones for him, and that's his Valentine's thing. We don't do a big, I don't think we need to. We're not flashy, over the top, Suki Lala, goo goo eye type people. So we don't do a lot for Valentine's Day. When the kids were little, I used to do, I have little heart-shaped silicone cupcake molds, and I would put jelly in them and do the layers of jelly, and we'd have jelly and ice cream for dessert, and it'd be heart-shaped. And I have some heart-shaped cake tins that were given to me when we got married, and sometimes I will do a cake, a heart-shaped cake, and it might just be a butter cake, and then I'll ice it with pink icing and put chocolate shavings over the top of it. Or I have been known to set jelly in the bottom of the heart-shaped tin, tip it out, bake the cake, and then pop the jelly back on top of it, and have that with ice cream for dessert. And that's really nice. Use a red jelly, and that works really well too. If you don't have a heart-shaped cake tin, you can make one quite easily, especially for the little cupcakes, with a marble. Put your patty pan in the tray, and then down the outside of the tray slip a marble between the paper and the edge of the tin, and it sort of pushes, does the indentation for the heart, and that's quite cute too. Great idea, Maureen. Soups are really good, and chicken soup is so easy and doesn't have to cost a lot, and doesn't have to take a lot of time either. A really quick and simple one is simply about a litre of water, a couple of sticks of celery, chopped up carrot, chopped up onion. If you've got celery leaves, chop them up quite finely, pop them in, and then maybe a half a chicken fillet, and chop it up. You can either chop it or cut it in strips. It's up to you. I usually dice it. I found a long time ago that small dice looks more, so everybody's happy. It's all in the appearance. So chop it up finely, put that in, and if you've got, if you can have it, some chicken stock. So I use the Massel in the Vegeta in the blue tin chicken stock. If I'm in a hurry and I don't have stock in the freezer, for chicken soup. Now boil that up, bring that up to a boil, turn it down to a simmer. It takes about 20 minutes to cook the chicken and the veggies, and it's really tasty. You can add a little bit of rice, so probably to a litre of water you probably use about a quarter of a cup of rice, or some pasta, some small shells into it as well would be really nice. Just watch your salt and pepper, because the stock powder is quite salty, and I don't like salt, so I'm conscious of not adding too much. Otherwise, for Valentine's Day, getting back to Valentine's Day, sorry, Prayer, we often celebrate the weekend after. When things are back to normal prices, we might go out for a meal. We don't go out very often, hardly ever go out for meals actually. It has to be a really special occasion, so that might be the case. But I tend to think that we're happier just at home, just ourselves, so we don't need to make a big song and dance for each other about Valentine's. I know lots of people like to, they think it's romantic, but you can do all that. You can be romantic at home. and you can be romantic without spending a lot of money. So it might be as simple as making sure the children go to bed on time and you're having dinner later, and then you use your best dishes, your best tablecloth, have real cloth napkins if you've got them, and a really nice dessert, and just sit and enjoy and talk to each other. It can be really good too. Reduce, yes, I think you can buy reduced salt stock powders, Barb. You would need to look in the cooking aisle and check, but yes, I'm pretty sure you can get reduced. Was that Wayne in the previous video? Not sure, probably. Could you ring your counsellor anonymously and ask for, yeah, okay, that's great, Karen. Great idea, Maureen, to use up the leftovers. Helps clean out the freezer too, ready to refill it. Margaret, Salvos, St Vincent de Paul, Anglicare should all be able to point you in the direction of some help if you really need it. They are all non-judgmental, so don't be worried about that. Just ring them up and explain the situation, explain that it's temporary, and ask them for your help, and they will do that for you. I think it was Wayne walking through the back of it, wasn't it? Yeah, that was him sneaking through. Sorry, I'm moving again because I've been sitting all day and my back's a bit ready to crash. So, yes, we are having a lovely time, Priya. Thank you. There we go. Gosh, 42 minutes gone already. So remember, we're in the middle of no spending month. I will be back at work on Tuesday. I will be following up. If you've sent an email, I'll follow it up. Back then, when I've got reliable internet and a steady desk to work on instead of my lap, and everything should be back to normal. And I will be posting more about no spending month in our newsletters and on the website. So there you go. Has anyone else got any questions? Quick, type it in. Let me see if I can. Oh, so I didn't click on it. Oh. In fact, I can. See how we go. If there's no more questions, I'll say good night and have a great week, and I will be back next Tuesday. Let's see what's coming in. Oh, before I go, I have to say, loving the daylight saving in Tasmania. Still daylight till 9 o'clock at night. Absolutely gorgeous. Loving it. I'm not looking forward to going home to the dark again. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.